um, so like, show of hands, how many of you guys have been to a music festival before? Okay. Okay, good. So, out of all your experiences before, have you guys ever like been kind of like turned down by the security or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. This will make a little sense to you then. All right. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about why security has to be so overbearing at these music festivals, and why it has to be because of events in the past. I'm going to give some research to help you guys some insight on that. So, a little preview for you guys. First, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the events that happened at Woodstock 1999. We're going to go into EDC, and then we're finally going to explain why exactly all those events played into music festivals now, and why security has to be the way it is. So, Woodstock 99. Woodstock 99 was supposed to be the recreation of Woodstock 69, which was supposed to be a celebration of peace and a protest against the Vietnam War. Well, Woodstock 99 didn't go that way. It was pretty much marred by violence, sexual assault, arson, and armed robbery. So this right here, we have a picture of obviously a Mercedes-Benz being flipped over. So what ended up happening is Limp Bizkit took the stage, and as soon as they started playing break stuff, well, the audience started breaking stuff. They started tearing down the structures, and they started burning the piles. So, I have a little quote for you guys, and it was from, I can't remember his name right now, I didn't write it down. Sorry about that, guys. It was from Rolling Stone magazine, though, and it pretty much talked about the lack of security and what happened to the music festival and how it all went downhill. So, even though the crowd wildly outnumbered the law enforcement presence, roughly 500 New York State troopers plus local PD, the authorities were supposed to have a little more support courtesy of volunteer security recruited from New York City. However, many of these volunteers unceremoniously walked off the job by wandering off into the audience, leaving police severely shorthanded when things got out of hand. So basically, when all this started happening, the police pretty much couldn't do anything because they didn't have enough people to take control of the 60,000 people there at this music festival. So basically, right here we have a picture of all the trash and debris that was created from all the chaos. Next we have a picture right here of Fred Durst agitating the crowd. We have more arson down here, and here we have an ATM being broken into. So the ATM started getting broken into once Red Hot Chili Peppers went on stage and they started burning the American flag. Rage Against the Machine started burning the American flag, and that pretty much egged the crowd on to not care anymore about anything. And I have another quote from Kurt Loder. He was an MTV co-host, and this was also from Rolling Stone. It was dangerous to be around. The whole scene was scary. There was just waves of hatred bouncing around the place. It was clear we had to get out of there. It was like a concentration camp. To get in, you had to get frisked to make sure you weren't bringing any water or food that would prevent you from buying their outrageously priced booths. And you wallow around in garbage and human waste. There was a palpable mood of anger. So next, now that I've talked to you guys about all the events that happened at Woodstock and all the chaos that it caused, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about EDC. So EDC, if you guys haven't known, is probably the biggest rave of its kind, and at raves, people generally like to do drugs, specifically MDMA. So here's a guy tripping balls on MDMA. I just like that picture, I thought I'd show it to you guys. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and talk about MDMA itself. So what it does is it actually attacks the brain specifically, and more specifically the serotonin receptors and transmitters inside the brain, which cause a feeling of happiness, love, affection, which all cause, people to call it, love, hug, all these different names, Adam. And so basically, it has positive side effects, which are, it makes you feel good about yourself because it boosts serotonin levels. But also it increases your heart rate, increases your blood pressure, and it also increases your body temperature. Well, because of this, people started dying. Here's just some lovely pictures of MDMA and its side effects. I thought they were fun. We're gonna go ahead and talk about Leah Betts now. She's pretty much the poster child of MDMA overdose and death. She was the first widely publicized death from ecstasy MDMA. And she was barely 18. She went to her first rave. She lived in London. And she started drinking water too fast because she started feeling hot. And she started feeling like she couldn't breathe anymore. So she started hyperventilating, and eventually she was hospitalized, later died from complications while she was in a coma. So now I've talked to you guys about EDC and the deaths caused from drug overdoses from it. We're going to go ahead and talk about the music festival's reactions to all this stuff. Here we have a picture from Ben's Warped Tour, and it pretty much says it all. No moshing, crowd surfing. You mosh, you crowd surf, you get hurt, we get sued. No more Warped Tour. Music festivals were tired of getting sued and losing revenue because of all the events that happen, because we're acting like Neanderthals at their events. We're hurting each other, we're beating each other, we're raping each other, we're stealing from each other, we're burning all their stuff, and we're killing ourselves. They're tired of it. They don't want to get sued anymore, so they're starting to boost up security. Here's a picture of security taking down a guy from crowd surfing because they don't want him to hurt himself. Alright, so what have we learned today? So we talked about Woodstock and the violence that happened there. We talked about the causes and effect of that. We talked about what happens at EDC still probably, and the deaths that have caused out of there. And we've also talked about the cause and effects from, drugs. Fun. So basically, all I got left to say is to you guys, we're doing this to ourselves. We need to stop because we're making it not fun, and we're making a terrible experience for ourselves. If we go back to acting like normal humans, this will be a fun experience again.